welcome back to another edition of Second Take. I'm Jillian Kushner. That's Armand Sadler. Armand, how are you doing?
I've been going through these past couple weeks thinking Cornell doesn't care about us. It's been snowing badly up here, but they haven't canceled class. But we just had a nice mid-semester break already. I've been off for the past couple of days, relaxing, watching a lot of sports. So I guess Cornell cares a little bit, and I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm exhausted right now. I don't know why, but this was the world's longest Monday. But I got second take, so all is good in the world. So I'm gonna start off with some Yankee news. It's not looking good for us. All right, Jason Giambi decided that he will retire. So if you want to know who is on the Yankees roster, the answer is no one. So that's that. And then I guess we can call this happy news. We're also retiring some people's numbers. Bernie Williams, Jorge Posada, and Andy Pettitte. This will all happen in the next few months. It's great to see this, especially for Andy Pettitte. I mean, we had a lot of attention on Jeter and Mariano the past 2 seasons and haven't really paid attention to anybody else who left. And, there were other people, and that's why our roster is empty. So it's great, it's great to honor people, and it's already been a self-proclaimed rebuilding year. So
Yeah, as you said, it's absolutely great to honor some of the Yankees' best players. Posada, Williams, and Pettit brought a lot of success to us, won us some championships, but it's also just a sad reminder of where we currently are right now. We don't have any of them. We don't have any players that come close to them. It is not looking good. Rebuilding is an understatement. I think we are I don't even know. We're trying to build a foundation before we can even rebuild what was lost. So we need a foundation first. But we have money. Hopefully we spend it in the right way.
yeah, hopefully, we just find something. Also, our boy Brett Favre. I don't know why he's our boy. I just decided to say he's our boy. Our boy Brett Favre is getting inducted into the Green Bay Hall of Fame. Obviously, I'm not surprised in the least. They're waiting to do this actually at Lambeau, so he wants that stadium filled. Everybody's saying, "You go, Brett Favre." Y'all may remember, y'all may only know him as that weird old guy on the Wranglers commercial, but actually, he did a little bit more than that. And I can joke about Brett Favre all I want and his multiple retirements, but he is an amazing quarterback. He's somebody who kept Aaron Rodgers on the bench. Let that sink in, and that's how you know how great he was.
Yeah, absolutely. Brett Favre is a football legend. It's about time that this happened. Very happy for him. Brought a lot of success to Green Bay. Helped out the Vikings a little bit. Jets, not so much. We can ignore that. But there's no one more deserving than Brett Favre. So very happy for him.
Exactly. My only college basketball news is the only thing people really care about. Kentucky's still undefeated, and that's about that. Now I'm going to get to some NBA. It was All-Star weekend, All-Star break for you tired NBA players, because it's so hard to make millions of dollars every week. First of all, I have to congratulate my boy Kevin Hart. What was this, 4-time Celebrity All-Star Game MVP? He has announced his retirement from this Celebrity All-Star Game. We are so sad to see him go. I would not surprise if we were to retire his jersey, because he has just been an incredible player in that celebrity game. And thank you, Kevin Hart, for the memories. Nothing was greater than watching Monet Davis, little Monet Davis, who was the exact same height as Kevin Hart, putting some spin moves on him. But Kevin nonetheless won the MVP, and congrats to you. For Pete, wow, incredible.
Kevin Hart has accomplished some very great things. We've lost a great one. It'll hurt to see a NBA celebrity game without him. Arnie Duncan was also missing. He's known to put up very great performances, but Monet Davis just wowed everybody. She was absolutely phenomenal. We saw the Grizzlies owner, Robert Pena. He played. He was looking pretty good as well. He's actually openly challenged NBA players to one-on-one games, so clearly the guy loves basketball. He's a competitor. But, I think we have a lot to look forward to if Monet Davis continues to play. And we bring in these younger celebrities who are doing great things. But Kevin Hart, we'll miss you, man. We definitely will.
Miss you so much, Kev. I can sum up Saturday in, really really two statements. Zach LaVine, oh my God, and Steph Curry making it rain. That's all you need to know. Steph Curry dominated the three-point contest. Are we surprised? No, we are not. Steph Curry can only drain threes. That is what he is. There's a commercial airing that Jamie Foxx was commentating. The babyface assassin, that's what he is. He is an assassin. Steph Curry, I mean, we'll talk about the All-Star game in a second, but just a three-point contest, whew.
I'm going to have to say I'm a little surprised. I mean, it was his fourth attempt at the three-point contest, and he finally won. He's lost his first 3 times. I mean, he's clearly a great shooter in the games, but clearly not the best competition shooter. This year he stood out. Most notably, he beat teammate Klay Thompson, who put up 24 in the first round. Steph Curry put up 27 in the final round, made 13 straight before missing his last shot. Kyle Korver, who has the league-high three-point shooting percentage at 52.3, unfortunately did not make it past the first round, only put up 18. Wesley Matthews had a great showing, put up 22. James Harden was a little only had 15. J.J. Redick, 18. Kyrie Irving was also eliminated in the final round. But Steph Curry put on a show. You are correct. This year he did his thing. I mean, he's clearly one of the best pure shooters in the NBA. So it's about time he's won the three-point contest. But yeah, so we'll see. He's not sure if he'll be back to defend his title, but we'd love to see him back in the competition.
Hey, go out with a bang. Why not? And as for him winning it this year, not previous years, I mean, we haven't seen him dominate in the league like he has this year and previous years as well. He's grown as a player. I put him on my watch list, and my watch list does not lie. All right, I got to talk about this dunk contest. Okay, the way it worked, I'm going to get this right. So each person got 2 dunks, and it was ranked from out of 50 points. And then 2 people moved on to the final round where they each got 2 dunks. Okay. Basically, it was Victor Oladipo and Zach LaVine. Victor, he was the smallest competitor. He did a great job by all means. I mean, especially if he had nailed that dunk where his teammate was holding the ball sitting in the chair, he could have won it. But Zach LaVine just went out and just brought the dunk contest back to life, because we have been seeing the same thing over and over. And when you get all the NBA players to stand up and go like that, you did something great. When you get Dr. J, who is one of the judges, to literally sit there like this, you did something great. And Zach LaVine did that. Zach LaVine, I could not have been more entertained by him. It was great. And the thing that hurts me so much about him winning it is that he is only 19 years old, and I'm a year older than him, and I have not won the dunk contest, and he has, and I think I need to reevaluate my life, but he just, whew. I mean, Timberwolves, you might as well just kind of let the season go and just start lobbing it up to him every single play, because why not? He's incredible. So fun to watch. He's only 19, so why not repeat next year? I'm all for it.
Yeah. I definitely have to agree with you. The dunk contest has been less than impressive the past couple seasons. Zach LaVine changed that. 2 50-point dunks. He recorded a 50 on 2 separate dunks. Victor Oladipo recorded a 50 on 1 dunk. It was absolutely entertaining. I personally expected Giannis Antetokounmpo, whatever, however you pronounce it.
I wasn't even going to attempt to say his name because I didn't want to butcher it, but right. I'm glad you just did. But however, I wish I knew how to say his name, but yes, he also did a very good job. But yeah, it was the Oladipo and LaVine show.
Yeah, no, I completely expected Giannis to take over and win it, but Zach LaVine came out, and now there was an interview where he was asked if he was pitted against LeBron James, who would win. He thinks he would beat LeBron James. I think that would be an absolutely exciting dunk contest. LeBron James has clearly gotten old. We see this. He's been sitting out a little bit. Injuries are catching up with him. But I still think LeBron James has a lot in his tank, and Zach LaVine acknowledged that. But he said that he would defeat LeBron James. So I would love to see that challenge happen, maybe sometime during the offseason. But that would absolutely be a phenomenal dunk contest. I think the Timberwolves are going to get watched a lot more just because of Zach LaVine. People are going to try to see what he's going to do. And Zach LaVine could be a very good NBA player. I mean, he's a freak athlete, which like Blake Griffin was, and Blake Griffin slowly developed his game. So I think if Zach LaVine becomes a better scorer, better passer, he could really lead the Timberwolves, and maybe they could get better in a season or two. I don't know. I mean, they have Andrew Wiggins. They have a lot of potential. So if Zach LaVine improves his game, symbols could go in the right direction. But for now, freak athlete, love watching him.
And Andrew Wiggins was a prop in one of the dunks, so he got his time to shine. You brought up LeBron, and I'm just gonna say this real quick that I have some serious beef with LeBron right now. So Dwayne Wade, Dwayne Wade was likes to be an all-star, couldn't play due to injury because that's what everybody else is dealing with as well. And he interviewed LeBron and just brought up the dunk contest. Like, man, when are you gonna do the dunk contest? LeBron admitted, I've regretted not doing it in past years, but now I'm over the hill. LeBron, stop talking like you are a 50-year-old man. You are not that old. You can still do the dunk contest. And then, this is what upsets me so much. He had the nerve in the All-Star game to go and do an awesome dunk. And that's why I'm really mad at LeBron, okay? If he had said that and then not dunked in the next day, the next game, I would have been okay. And I have issued a ban on LeBron from dunking, and he is ignoring my ban. But you are banned from this until you enter the dunk contest, and I am not playing around, LeBron. I want you in that dunk contest, and I know you're scared that you're gonna lose to a younger guy. You're so scared Zach LaVine will beat you, because I promise you, Zach LaVine will come out of there his best. He might light the basket on fire or something to show how cool his dunk is. But there is honestly something about who you are in the dunk contest that they would honestly just hand it to LeBron if he were to even enter it. He wouldn't even have to be that impressive. Just do some. I'm having serious beef with LeBron right now. Armand's crying because I said he would light the basket on fire. But I am serious.
On this comment right now. She said he would light the basket on fire. But that might have been the funniest thing I've heard. But you're absolutely right. LeBron James is scared. And I think that he's continued to use this excuse, I don't know why I haven't done it for so long. And then now he's at the point where, he's kind of old, so he can use the I'm too old excuse. It's lame. I'm very disappointed in it. But, there's intense competition now. I think LeBron would lose. So I guess it's smart on his part so he doesn't have to take another L. He's taking a lot of L's in the finals. I don't know if he wants to lose the dunk contest as well. But LeBron,
if he wants to be in the discussion of the greats, you got to acknowledge Michael Jordan did his dunk contest. Kobe Bryant did his dunk contest. So, LeBron, where's your dunk contest?
We all know LeBron has a tendency to be a little punk here and there, so I'm not too shocked that he hasn't done it. But, he did do his nice dunk in the All-Star game, so we got something. It's frustrating. It could have been in another event, but we got something from LeBron, so no complaints. But that was a very funny comment. I think that's going to be my top moment for Second Take the next year. Lighting the basket on fire, that's rich.
Hey, if it happens in the dunk contest, you know who to credit for that idea. So yes, let's finally talk about the All-Star game. The score, it was an All-Star game score. West won 163 to 158. Every year they're like, oh, we beat the record for most points or something, and so this year was the same deal. This was kind of the Russell Westbrook show, dropped 41 points. So I'm just going to say, Russell, what? He just came out and he's like, I think this is my game. And Dwayne Wade actually started commentating partway through, and he was saying, your first few years in the All-Star game, you're just happy to be there. Then after you go a few times, you're like, I think I'm going to go for that MVP. And you know what? Russell Westbrook got that MVP. This was actually Carmelo Anthony's high point of the season. He got to play. He looked really upset the entire time, but he had 14 points. Still lost, so not much has changed in his life. LeBron had 30 points, and, of course, that annoying dunk. That I'm going to ignore. John Wall, another great, he's John Wall, 19 points. Kyrie Irving, 11 points, and I'm surprised it was only 11. As we've discussed, there was 4 Hawks players who were added to the All-Star list, and there was a point where all 4 of them were on the court. We talked about Kyle Korver a little bit. He had 21 points. Jeff Teague had 14 points. We've talked about the Hawks. They're awesome. And now let me look at the West. It wasn't, even though it may look like it, it was not all about Westbrook. Off the bench, by the way. We had Chris Paul in there throwing up lobs. He missed his boy Blake Griffin, so he's kind of just throwing it to anybody who wanted to dunk it. My boy Steph Curry had 15 points. James Harden with 29. Fear the Beard, he was dunking. He was draining threes, everything. James Harden was doing James Harden. He's still my MVP vote for this season. And my boy LaMarcus Aldridge, I cannot forget about him, out of Texas with 18 points. Very proud of him. My boy KD, who we're going to talk about in a second, only had 3 points. This wasn't KD's game by any means, but nonetheless, there's 2 Longhorns in the All-Star game, and I am proud, and I'm going to say hook 'em.
Yeah, it was a great All-Star game. We saw a record 48 three-pointers made. Russell Westbrook, phenomenal game. James Harden, you regretted to mention that he also had 8 assists and 8 rebounds. He had a great all-around game. Chris Paul had 15 assists. Kevin Durant was disappointing. You know what happened. LeBron James had 30, really held it down for the East. But this was the West game. I think Russell Westbrook was just putting an exclamation point on a season where he is pursuing the MVP. As we know, the Oklahoma City Thunder are half a game out of the 8th seed, which the Phoenix Suns currently hold, but they are making a playoff push. There's one analyst this weekend who said OKC might be the most dangerous team in the West right now. And with Russell Westbrook playing the way he's been playing lately, how he looked in the All-Star game, how he completely it looked easy to him the way he was scoring. I mean, if OKC sneaks that playoff spot, like Anthony and I said on Around the Horn, we could see my Thunder in the finals, and it would be very, very, very nice. But
it's that bold statement, though, because we cannot forget who else is in the Western Conference. I do not like these bold statements that you're going to say an 8th seed is going to jump all the way into the finals, because you cannot forget everybody else. You cannot forget my boy Damian Lillard and his squad. Oh, and I didn't even talk about my boy Damian Lillard with 11 points, but the most, crazy thing Damian Lillard did this weekend was he dropped an insane freestyle on the radio, and if you haven't heard it, you need to listen, because I'm going to make the bold statement that he is the most impressive human in the NBA, because he can shoot and he can rap, and he can rap well.
It's a very interesting statement. I'll have to check this Damian Lillard rap out. But I think we have a very interesting topic to get to with my boy Kevin Durant. I'm going to start.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to start.
You know, I like to start it off. I get hype.
Hey, we're going to create something today called an Armand rant. We got the Joe rants.
No, that's not a thing.
Well, it's going to be a thing. So this weekend we saw an interview where Kevin Durant explicitly said to the media, "You all don't know expletive." He said S-H-I-T. He was very open about his feelings with the media. He said, "You guys are not my friends. You guys are going to take what you want from what I say it however you want to say it, make me look bad, blah, blah, blah." And a lot of people lauded Kevin Durant for what he said to the media. Kevin Durant, you all know, is my favorite basketball player. So it would be so easy for me to support him and, be biased and say, "Oh, yeah, you're right." Now, he makes great points. The media is very wishy-washy. They do twist things and make people look bad. But I'm going to venture to say that what Kevin Durant said to the media, his conduct is worse than Marshawn Lynch's conduct with the media. And I'm going to put it to you like this. I'm going to take you guys on a little journey. Just imagine with me. Imagine there are two very accomplished pitchers in Major League Baseball. These 2 pitchers play for a coach. Now, this coach tends to make bad decisions. Now, as a player in a professional sport, what's your job? It's to listen to that coach. You're kind of obliged to, in signing a contract for that team and playing for that coach, you're obliged to listen to that coach. Same way you sign a contract and you're obliged to talk to the media, you'll talk to the media. Now, if a coach gives you bad pitches to throw, and there's one pitcher who says, "All right, I got you, coach," even though he knows they're really bad pitches. Then there's another pitcher who says, "Coach, you're telling me some really stupid stuff to throw, but I'm going to throw it anyway." Which one is worse? The one who just obliges, or the one who expresses his discontent but does it anyways? I just don't. I cannot fully support. I can't support Kevin Durant here, honestly. I think that openly disrespecting the media when it's a part of your contract to talk to them is worse than talking to them and giving them minimal 1 to 2 word answers. But that's just me. I'm sure Joe has a very long sentiment to share, but we can continue. So please share.
All right. So yes, Kevin, he was actually asked what he thinks his coach's future is with the team, and then he replied that you don't know expletive. Listen, Kevin, I love you. We're Longhorn, brethrens. We're in this together. I will never hate you no matter what you do. Actually, that's not true, but that's not for right now. Anyway, I understand you want to have your coaches back. I understand that. But you have to understand, rumors happen. Everybody knows rumors happen. If there are rumors around the NBA that your coach is on the hot seat, we want you to address it, okay? I don't care if that upsets you. I don't care if you think it's not true. You are not the GM. You are not in that office. You don't know if it's not true. You may love your coach. You may think he is the best guy ever. But listen, anybody can get left off. We saw John Fox, who has been so successful with his team, and it's the same deal. Your seat is not safe just because you've taken your team to the playoffs and stuff like that. It's not like that. As far as we're going to make this, obvious comparison to Marshawn Lynch, what I liked about Kevin is I felt he articulated himself better. In the article I read, he gave a longer explanation. Him cussing at the media was completely inappropriate. I'm going to say that. That's one thing Marshawn did not do was cuss. And, you can't do it, Kevin, okay? I think Kevin's going through some weird finding himself thing because we have seen these two polar opposite sides of Kevin. Super, super nice Kevin, and then, weirdly aggressive, angry Kevin, okay? And you got to pick one, all right? I understand now you're comfortable in the NBA. Now you feel like you can voice your opinions. But I don't care, okay? I don't want you to attack the media like this just because you feel XYZ, okay? I have said this before, and I'll say it again. Athletes have to talk to the media, okay? The media is not some enemy there to come and ruin your life. If you tell the media more, and if you're more honest with the media, you'll see more things you want to see in your stories. But you're telling the media, oh, I love blah, 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 and blah, 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 and then you get mad that they just said that. It's what you told us. It has to be a mutual relationship, and it's not at this point because athletes are just attacking the media. Skip Bayless brought up how I think it was pretty recent that he said something about Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook hogs the ball too much or something like that. Kevin Durant took to Twitter and just kind of attacked Skip Bayless, saying, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. Skip Bayless, you know how he is about his favorite players. He loves Kevin Durant. Never talks bad about him. And Kevin Durant just lashed out at him just because he wanted to have his teammates back. And there has to be an equal ground here, Kevin. I understand you want to have people's backs. You love your teammates. You love your coaches. That's great. Awesome. Thumbs up to you. But that doesn't mean you need to burn these bridges with people who respect you. Right now, that's what's happening with players in the media. Because people need the media, all right? You like to know what's going on. If it were not for the media, no one would know who you were, okay? Kevin Durant wants to lash out at the media. He says, you have too much power. You get to do this voting, blah, blah, blah. Kevin, you won MVP last year. Who do you think gave that to you? Who do you think does the voting, okay? The media. So this is the most ironic thing I've ever heard because he just got awarded probably the best award that's happened to him in his life thus far because of this, okay? MVP is always going to be there. Always going to be there, okay? So right now it's just not making sense. I don't understand this weird athlete versus media thing. I don't get it, okay? It's always going to happen. I understand that. There's just weird beef. But athletes need to get over it. They're too full of themselves right now and thinking, oh, I'm being tortured by talking to you. Okay, well, no one would know who you were if it weren't for the media.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with your comments about Kevin Durant. I think he's going through a phase right now. He's finding himself. It's been a rough season for him and OKC as a whole. He sat out, I believe, 22, 27 games due to injury. OKC is not at the top as they usually are. So there's been a lot of stress on him. There are obviously always discussions about who's more effective for the Thunder, Russell or KD. And OKC has taken a lot of criticism and a lot of scrutiny this season. So I can understand why Kevin Durant is angry, doesn't want to discuss the future of his head coach, who has brought OKC much success the past couple seasons. So I get that. And I think Kevin Durant did something good in expressing himself because a lot of these guys are just robots. They kind of just go along with what the media says. But
and that's what I'm saying about being honest. I'm glad he's doing that. Be honest with the media, but it doesn't. You don't need to attack. Yeah. Like we're the ones trying to fire your coach.
Yes. Because yeah, of course. Because while the media does frame certain things to make players look bad, the media can also be there to help you. So I don't really get, and that's the point I was trying to make, is that I feel like Kevin Durant attacked the media. Marshawn Lynch is sarcastic, very reserved, but he's never stepped over a boundary and said you guys don't know or insulted them anyway. Kevin Durant was very, very aggressive in his statements. And I love the guy. I support him. I feel for him right now. He's going through a lot, but lashing out at the media is never the way to go, because that only looks worse on your career.
And on your team. I mean, it's just bad press. You turn on ESPN today, what are they talking about? They had like a panel discussion talking about what Kevin did. And you're right, Marshawn didn't attack the media. I think what Marshawn did was extremely childish, and that's why I like that Kevin tried to eloquently explain himself. Just that cut. If he had done without that cussing, we talked about it in one of my classes today. My teacher brought up, you don't know what type of New York stuff happened to him on the way. He could have gotten attacked by a hobo. You don't know. Anything could happen in New York City. We don't know what led to this Kevin outburst, but Kevin Durant has always been one of the nicest people in the NBA. You never hear a bad thing about him. Nothing off the court, partying, nothing like that. Really well respected, and this is just unnecessary, tarnished reputation right now. Hopefully, I don't want him to give some little fake apology saying he didn't mean it, because he clearly meant it, okay? I would like for him to kind of explain himself further. What do you want, from the media? If we're not allowed to ask you these types of questions, what should we be saying to you? Yeah,
and you also brought up the Russell Westbrook interview where he was very sarcastic. I believe he repeated the word execute about 30 times. And I think that Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, if they continue on this trend, could be bringing very negative publicity to OKC, who's already become under more and more scrutiny each year as they haven't won the championship or they haven't gone to the West Finals or what have you. And it can become a very bad situation in Oklahoma City very fast, especially with the speculation of Kevin Durant going back to Washington, Russell Westbrook wanting to leave and lead his own team. So this could become a very, very bad situation in OKC very fast. So I think that those two need to dial it back a little bit. The media can be frustrating, as we've seen, but the media also wants to ask thought-provoking questions to really to get inside the mind of these players sometimes. So it's, I don't know.
It just doesn't make sense to me. It's not like the reporter asked, "Hey Kevin, I heard you're trying to kill your coach's career. Tell us about that." I mean, it might be something I'm never going to understand. And maybe, we'll have to bring an athlete on the show to try to understand what this issue is, because I certainly don't get it. And it's annoying, and I don't want this to continue on, because it should not be athlete versus media, because it's just childish. We have ranted a lot today. There's a lot to talk about. And, next week we'll just be keeping on with our basketball. It is almost March, and it is almost March Madness. Woo! That will be fun. And we will have to bring our boy Alex Klein back to help us through the tourney. That's for sure. And then before you know it, it's going to be the NFL Combine. And wow, life is just flying by. It's just flying right by me.
Life comes at you fast. I definitely want to say, guys, keep your eyes peeled for Kentucky. Very close game against LSU on Tuesday, only won 71-69. They could be on upset alert. I don't really think they're going to lose to anyone, but guys, keep your eyes peeled. Do not be surprised if Kentucky does take that first loss. We shall see.
All right, and if they do, we'll talk about it. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry this was a long one, but rants, you know how it is, guys. We will see you next week.